Now I have a window of opportunity. The corpse and the scene are unattended. The clean-up doesn't take long. After all, I've had 3 days to prepare. The corpse is bagged, as is the gun and launcher. The blood and brain matter could be a problem. There are too many things that would show up as weird if any police lab got a chance to look at it. A small fire will solve that. An inspection of my visual logs revealed that the overhead sprinkler pipe is damaged. With water already trickling out further down, the nearest nozzle won't get enough pressure. The rest of the system will contain the blaze for long enough for the fire brigade to turn up. The linear accelerator and the shard aren't from far enough up range to contain any really exotic materials. The main problem will be the paper trail. Police reports and whatnot, but with no body, no suspects, no evidence and just the word of 2 inexperienced officers, the investigation will be likely parked within a fortnight. I found out in my relative yesterday that in this time period their system is still paper-based. So, within 10 years the reports will be moved to long-term stores. Once I'm done here, I'll deal with them. Without documentary evidence, 60 years from now, once the 2 cops shuffle off the mortal coil, the whole incident will disappear from history. I'll just have to make sure it doesn't turn up on some Unsolved Mysteries website 20 years from now. The mystery that will remain is the one for me. I've had road time travellers try and kill me before, and likely will again in my relative future, but it's always been as a means to an end. This guy though, maybe he had other objectives as well, but he was definitely here to kill me, and that's just wrong. I don't mean in any moral, ethical or even legal way. I mean from a logic standpoint. I am not that important. If I'm lucky, it was personal. Something in my future or my past, I did something that made him want to kill me. And if I'm lucky, this is the end of it. If I'm not so lucky, it won't be the past that haunts me, it'll be the future. Chapter 2. A steady thumping noise dragged Liz unwillingly towards consciousness. Head still buried in her pillow, she slapped blindly at the alarm clock, but unaccountably the thumping continued. Then abruptly her hand was licked. "Ah!" she exclaimed, raising her sleepy head from the pillow. Sammy, the family Labrador, was sitting beside her bed, grinning at her as his great feather duster of a tail beat against the dresser. With bleary eyes she looked at the clock, which read 8:45 a.m, then at the bedroom door, which was open. "Sammy, who let you in?" she croaked. The sound of his name was all the invitation Sammy needed, and before she could stop him, he hopped up onto the bed and stuck a cold, wet nose into her ear. "Ah!" Liz said for the second time in one morning. Her father was sitting at the breakfast bar with his nose in the paper when she came down to the kitchen, with Sammy in hot pursuit. Her brother was still in his bedclothes and eating breakfast. As he heard them come in, he put his hand down and Sammy pushed past Liz to see if a treat was being offered. "Thanks so much for letting the hound in. I really needed that," Liz said to her brother, ruffling her hair as she headed for the kettle. "Nothing to do with me," Peter replied as he rubbed Sammy's head, in response to which the dog let out a contented sigh. "You know, if I ever get a guide dog, I'm going to need you not to nick it." "Not my fault I'm the hound's favourite. With all the treats you give him," Peter replied. "I think you'll find it is." "That was me," her father said. "You'd sleep the day away otherwise. Teenagers need more sleep." "Scientific facts," Liz said as she threw a tea bag into a mug, then a second one after it. "You're nearly 20, dear," he replied, smiling. "Age is a state of mind, old man. Where's Mom?" "Gone into town to do the shopping. I heard you coming in last night. Do you have a good time?" "Yep, good time was had. And no, we didn't drink or talk to strange men," Liz replied before smiling innocently. as her father raised a dubious eyebrow at her. "Anything in the news?" "Well, that grinning moron has won the election." "God, you despair of this country," her father grumped. "You despair of a lot of countries. What was it you said last year when Bill Clinton won his second term?" "Probably something colourful that I stand by." "You said he's a smarmy git who probably wouldn't be able to keep his pants on." "I think we'd have heard something by now if he was fooling around with some office assistant." "I stand by it," her father replied, peering over the paper.